Good morning to all our viewers in St. Martin and around the world. You're watching SXM Daily News Magazine, a live weekly show to bring you up to date with the latest news, current events, and feature stories. I'm Valerie Van Putten, and I'm joined by my co-host, Fernando Clark.
And we thank you for tuning in to our live broadcast, where we'll also be covering news items you may have missed or forgotten this week. Let's go into the headlines for today.
The detailed stories that we have for you today are the latest COVID-19 updates, St. Martin's battle against a Delta variant outbreak, along with breaking news on food assistance program and St. Martin's financial situation. We also have the latest weather report and more coming right up.
Well, Valerie, this seems to be a very interesting and informative edition today.
I know. Yeah. They're saying, well, we hope that we won't bore the viewers, but there's so much news to get to that we want to bring you up to date, as well as breaking stories that we will throw in.
So many things happen during the week that you can't keep up to date with all what's going on. So,
exactly.
It's good that we have this magazine so that people can catch up on news that they may have missed or even forgotten.
Yes, exactly.
So let's go right into it.
Organic Creations is your place when looking for natural health supplements and whole foods. We supply a wide variety of herbal teas, multivitamins, liquid herbs, Artist Life products, organic nuts and grains, essential oils, and supplements for a wide variety of health conditions, all at a reasonable price. Our certified nutritionist is the perfect guide for supplements that best suits you. Inquire also about our gift certificate for that special someone. Remember, your health is your responsibility. So visit Organic Creations today at shop number 1 in the Orange Grove Shopping Center there in Colby, or call us at 721-523-9496. We open Monday to Friday 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., Saturdays 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Organic Creations, where your health is top priority.
Welcome back, viewers. And we have a breaking news story that just reached our news desk. The Minister of Justice, in collaboration with the Minister of VSA, had denied the request by the St. Martin Resistance Organization, which filed a request to host a protest against mandatory vaccination and health passes on the Dutch side today, August the 21st. The organization will be protesting at the Bellevue border and had the intention of crossing the border and going around Union Road roundabout in order to head back to the northern side. The Minister of General Affairs and Prime Minister cited the recent ministerial decree banning mass gatherings and the implementation of COVID-19 protocols to prevent a mass spread.
And in more breaking news, the Constitutional Court heard the case of the Ombudsman versus the government of St. Martin regarding the implemented cost-cutting measures which impacted the public and semi-public sector workers' employment benefits. The judges did not render a verdict due to their request for more information relating to the poverty line, minimum wage and social benefits, and the list of public sector entities whose employees are to be affected by the cuts. We'll have more on this story in our following broadcast.
And as we continue now with more news events of this week, in the last 12 days, 8 persons have passed away due to COVID-19. 13 persons are currently hospitalized as of August the 19th. Based on the latest data provided by the St. Martin Medical Center, there are currently 13 total COVID admissions, in which 10 are unvaccinated and 3 fully vaccinated. The number of active coronavirus cases on St. Martin now stands at 315. The Minister of Public Health, Social Development and Labor, VSR, the Honorable Omar Otley, notified the public on the following.
There is conversations with my epidemiologist, Ava Lister, to now see if we can start to break down the monthly infectious rate on vaccinated and non-vaccinated. In the beginning, I didn't want to be a part of the separation. I wanted us to realize that we are in this together, and collectively it's a us problem. But inevitably, there has been a rift between the vaccinated and unvaccinated. And what we see now is persons saying, well, look, fully vaccinated persons are being infected, fully vaccinated persons are passing. So it leaves us with no choice now to present the numbers to say, yes, let's compare the numbers, let's compare statistics and the percentage of vaccinated persons infected. So to answer your question, yes, that is the plan, to now illustrate the positive cases, how many were unvaxxed and how many were vaxxed. And as far as the underlying symptoms, we are in the process, the ministry are in the process with PAHO to start a healthy campaign in which we will do an updated health analysis, because the last one was done in 2015. So we will do an updated health analysis so we can get to really know the health issues within our population and prepare persons for later down in life.
Age stratification too, Minister? Age stratification too as well?
Yeah, we have that, but that is internally at the moment. So I would have to have a conversation with CPS to see, everything is privacy issues when we deal with medical personnel. So I would have to have that conversation with CPS.
Minister Otley also confirmed in this week's Council of Ministers press briefing that there are currently 25 Aspen Medical International AMI team members who will be remaining to continue assisting the medical center. The Dutch Ministry of Health, Welfare and Sport, VWS, confirmed that the team will remain active until October 1st. According to their website, AMI is a global provider of guaranteed, innovative and tailored healthcare solutions across a diverse range of sectors, providing from a single paramedic to a full spectrum solution. Their assistance is for the most part paid by the Netherlands. The AMI team has been assisting SMMC with COVID relief care since 2020.
In continuing the government's protocol to combat the coronavirus, the government of St. Martin plans to introduce a regular testing for the unvaccinated as a screening method. The draft measure is presently at the Legal Affairs Department, which is to be finalized soon. The Minister of VSR recently signed on to the Digital COVID Certificate, the DCC, which is tied to the European Union QR Quick Response System. The Minister of VSR stated St. Martin signed a bilateral agreement with the Netherlands and is currently awaiting the document for the system, which can go live any day now. The QR system allows persons to have a personal code tied to their vaccination identification, VID, which allows persons to show proof of vaccination or their COVID-19 test results before entry to establishments or while traveling. The minister wants to formalize a relationship with the labs so that persons can request and give consent for their information that can be added to their QR code. Minister Otley also said that according to the vaccination management team, the VMT, 80% of persons with COVID-19 symptoms don't stay home.
And recently, Minister Otley also met with the research representatives contacted by the RIVM and the VWS of the Netherlands to discuss the findings of a randomized survey done to better understand the vaccine hesitancy among the St. Martin population, a government release stated. They gave the minister some tips on ways that St. Martin may be able to convince persons to take the vaccine. Minister Otley informed the RIVM's research representatives that it has always been his main objective to build confidence in the COVID-19 vaccine, as it perceives safety and efficiency are strongly associated with intention and willingness to take the vaccine, the release concluded.
And now in news from the island of St. Eustatius, Statia Island Council speaks out against a resident's death at St. Martin Medical Center. Regarding the recent slate of deaths at the St. Martin Medical Center, one in particular entered into discourse abroad in Statia's Island Council due to the fact that a resident who was fully vaccinated and receiving treatment at the St. Martin Medical Center passed away. No conclusive report was given as to how he contracted COVID-19, which led to his death. However, it is widely reported that there was recently an outbreak of positive cases at the St. Martin Medical Center. Members of the Island Council had this to say during their debate.
Go right into our agenda point 5, and the order of speaking is Councilman Snake, Councilman Merkman, Councilman Clyde Van Putten, Councilwoman Leda. Councilman Snake.
Our first option for patients for medical care is St. Martin Medical Center. And apparently this hospital is now a corona breeding ground. And this is where our patients are sent for treatment, surgery, and you name it. One station has already died from the COVID. And because the individual contracted the COVID outside Statia in St. Martin, we will not even see this case in our statistics. But it was one of us. This person went for medical attention from Statia to St. Martin Medical Center, contracted COVID there and died. And this is not a single incident. Since also already a Saban patient has died under similar circumstances in the St. Martin Medical Center. Another station went for surgery, and on return it was established that also this person tested positive for COVID-19, which he contracted again at the St. Martin Medical Center. He is now in quarantine or isolation. Well, this is a serious situation, and all of us need to pay keen attention. And it becomes now irresponsible to send our patients who, because of their illnesses and underlying conditions, are already vulnerable to St. Martin Medical Center, where there is a high chance to get infected with COVID, and as a result, they may die.
I am also of the opinion that it's one and the same topic, because all of it relates to COVID, and it relates to the well-being of the people in Statia. And in my humble opinion, this is not an issue that has arisen during the COVID pandemic. And then maybe he caught it when he went to St. Martin. But then when we look at the amount of time that is involved, we probably would have to throw that out, because when he went to St. Martin, before he went into the hospital to do the operation, it wasn't a long period. And according to the science, you should be at least getting some symptoms within 5 days. I stand to be corrected in that, after you've had contact with the individual that has the virus. And then the last scenario that we come into is that he caught it at the St. Martin Medical Center. And I think a lot more people, a lot of professional people that I've spoken to have indicated that is the most likely scenario.
And in more news that made headlines this week, St. Martin's hunger problems are yet to be resolved. The food assistance program is coming to an end. Funding for the program was provided for only 2 months, and an assessment will be conducted to determine if St. Martin can continue with the program. The project was financed by funds provided by the Dutch Ministry of the Interior and Kingdom Relations to continue from where the Red Cross left off. At the time, the Red Cross provided assistance to over 4,700 households negatively impacted by the onset of the coronavirus pandemic. As the government looked over the project, the St. Martin Development Foundation, SMDF, was contacted to be the implementing partner along with support from the K1 Britannia Foundation, Freegan Food Foundation, and Com Center. The funds were provided early June and earmarked for 2 months of support with the possibility of extending the program for another 2 months. Due to complications, the program was delayed and began in July. According to the minister, given that the program is ending, the other option on the table is to decrease the number of persons being assisted because the assistance will be phased out. It's not a permanent program. Persons should prepare for it to end, the Minister of VSR stated.
I'm going to touch on the food voucher programs. We have been receiving many complaints of persons being rejected, but not having a reason as to why they are being rejected. So therefore, a meeting is to be scheduled with the SMDF to see if they can provide more clarity within the matter. It was an emergency meeting requested by myself through the SG, so we are following up on it, and we will try to see how it can be more detailed and persons can understand the criteria better and understand why they may or may not be denied. On COVID-19, I guess you expect me to come and say the stats in 349. Nah. The most important stat right now is we had 8 deaths in 9 days. That's it. Those that think COVID ain't real, I don't know what more to tell you. And I'm not going to go in this long-winded speech. 8 deaths in 9 days. Let that sink in. Hospital put out their numbers, 18 patients at the time, not now, currently 15. But the last report, 18 patients, 2 partially vaccinated, and 1 was fully vaccinated. My prayers and heartfelt sympathy goes out to the family members that lost somebody. There was another death recorded. And I just pray for you guys, and I hope that you can find strength in these times.
Minister Utley also met with the St. Martin Development Foundation Director, Ms. Makisha Brooks, to gain insight into the application process, as well as the approval criteria and grounds for denial of applications, especially those related to the seniors. The minister took note of the complaints coming in from seniors, claiming that they were being denied assistance, and he shared those concerns with Ms. Brooks, ministry release stated. Ms. Brooks mentioned that SMDF has created a special option for seniors with a valid St. Martin issued identification card to have their applications reviewed manually and evaluated their circumstances. She informed Minister Utley that SMDF has approximately 13,700 persons registered for the program, of which 1,218 persons are above the age of 65. The seniors are categorized in 2 groups. Category 1 are elderly persons who applied independently, and Category 2 are elderly persons who applied as part of other household. Ms. Brooks clarified that the vast majority of applications were approved and denials are based on the household income threshold. The fact that the applicant's information could not be verified, or that the applicant's information was used in more than one application.
In other news, over 200 million guilders has been added to St. Martin's debt in the last year alone. Last week, St. Martin received 48 million guilders as the 6th liquidity loan for the month of July to September. This approval was granted due to St. Martin meeting the requirements for conditions set by the Netherlands. According to the Prime Minister, allocations for the funds have already been made before they arrived, and she emphasized the economic impact of the pandemic on St. Martin. Despite the current increase in COVID-19 cases due to the new Delta variant, the island is faced with, she stated, we cannot live in a perpetual state of lockdown. We simply cannot put a stop to our economy. Since last year, St. Martin built up 220 million guilders in debt via liquidity loans from the Netherlands. This debt will increase as St. Martin is still dependent on liquidity support. She added that without the loans, more people would have gone hungry, more businesses would have closed, and more people would have died. It is also because of assistance received, not as a loan, through the Dutch Ministry of Health that has helped to keep St. Martin on its feet where medical health is concerned. So we are grateful for what we have received with regards to fighting the COVID-19 virus. We've had our bitter wars, yes, but at the end of the day, when we were in need, we got the assistance needed, Jacob said. We cannot afford to put a stop to our economy. We are in dire straits, she added.
And Valerie, now we'll take a look at our weather report. Remember, we're going into the peak of the 2020-21 Atlantic hurricane season. The Atlantic high pressure system will continue to generate gentle to moderate winds across the region. Meanwhile, a dry and stable air mass will keep the chances of showers low. Additionally, visibility will also be limited due to Saharan dust suspended in the atmosphere. Seas will remain moderate for the next few days, and the outlook through Monday morning will be partly cloudy, hazy, and breezy with a brief shower possible. And now let's take a look at our 3-day forecast.
And coming up next, local professional athlete to play in Iceland. Members of Parliament head to Bonaire for IPCO, and Minister of Justice speaks on school violence. We'll have the details of that story right after this. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Organic Creations is your place when looking for natural health supplements and whole foods. We supply a wide variety of herbal teas, multivitamins, liquid herbs, artist life products, organic nuts and grains, essential oils, and supplements for a wide variety of health conditions, all at a reasonable price. Our certified nutritionist is the perfect guide for supplements that best suit you. Inquire also about our gift certificate for that special someone. Remember, your health is your responsibility. So visit Organic Creations today at shop number 1 in the Orange Grove Shopping Center there in Colby, or call us at 721-523-9496. We open Monday to Friday 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., Saturdays 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Organic Creations, where your health is top priority.
Welcome back. You are tuned into SXM Daily News with Valerie Van Putten and Fernando Clark. Matter of fact, it's SXM Daily News magazine. Now let's continue with the latest developments. St. Martin professional basketball player hosts training for youths. Recently, Dion Butte, born and raised on St. Martin, is a professional athlete who hosted a basketball camp for local youths and shared his experience learning to play on the island and how he made it to the big leagues.
When it comes to the sports structure, from the ground, we have a lot of people trying to help with the development of sports on the island. I can only really talk about basketball just because that's just my field. So when it comes to basketball, like I've talked to a lot of people who want to develop sports, want to create projects to help for the development of sports on the island, which I think is very good. But our major problem is that we see sports as just an entertainment aspect and not a long-term solution to any type of financial struggles. So what I'm trying to say is that we need more support on the island, whether it's from our local businesses to help with sponsorships or whatnot. It shouldn't just be a couple businesses that donate. I feel like every business on St. Martin, if you care about St. Martin, you should donate to sports because, sports has become an avenue to solve a lot of problems when it comes to education, especially because if you can get your child out on a scholarship, school is getting very expensive nowadays. So to be able to have all the housing, books, and the classes paid for by a scholarship would save the parents so much money in the future. And then in return, their kid is able to save money themselves for whatever emergencies that they have. And I feel like the government as well too should have a proper structure in place to help facilitate the need for sports on the island. Because I'll just be frank with it that, I don't like the idea of just having a website to showcase your athletes, but there's no structure showing or any type of policies to help your athletes. Like from a collegiate level or from a high school level, there should be some type of financial, benefit given to these players that go away. And I feel like when they come back, they should have some type of financial, assistance when it comes to maintaining their diet, maintaining their workout regimen, like a stipend, whatever it is, just to help these kids maintain their, their athletic process even when they come back home. And even at the professional level, I feel like government should should throw incentives to their professional athletes to make them want to come home and do something, because I feel like a lot of athletes from St. Martin don't come home because they know when they come home it's like there's nothing for them here. There's no reason for them to come back other than give back to the community. And as I said before, everybody has their real lives. Everybody has responsibilities they got to take care of. So not everybody is able to, donate all types of money to different causes for sports down here. Everybody has their families to take care of. But I feel if government were to step up and to really provide some type of financial assistance to high school, college, and professional athletes as well, this will help with the development of sports on the island, because it all starts out as a dream. And you dream about this as a kid. But then as you get older, as reality sinks in whether you can do it or not. But then if you do get it done, then what is there to do for the next kid? And this is where we all need to work together and come together and actually do something for the youth that helps develop stuff not from now, but for the future. So this should be a solid investment. You can invest into a 9-year-old for 10 years. When he reaches 19 and he reaches to college, then 3 more years from now, when he goes professionally and he makes it to, so you could say like the NBA or a top European league, because of the love shown by his island and the assistance given by the government, he will be more willing to come back and give back to his community. So.
Dion Butte also discussed his view on support for sports and the structure available on the island at the moment. Here's his full take.
All right, in other news, we have Member of Parliament, Bonkampa talks on expectation for IPCO meetings. Starting this Monday, August 23rd, the that should be the Interparliamentary Kingdom Consultations, IPCO, will commence where parliamentarians of the different countries of the Dutch Kingdom get together to review kingdom relations and pressing matters such as kingdom dispute regulation, laws, and the Kingdom Charter, among other legal documents and matters. This year's meeting will be held in Bonaire. Our newsroom interviewed St. Martin Member of Parliament for the United St. Martin Party, Claudius Boncamper, and he shared the agenda for this year's IPCO with us. Let's take a look at what the MP had to say.
Monday, we started IPCO itself, and IPCO will have 4 teams during the day, during the meetings. And the first team, naturally, each country will present their position on where they stand, etc., etc. The first meetings that we will have, that we discuss in various groups, we create groups, the elections from Curacao, the elections from Aruba, and the second chamber elections in the Netherlands. And we're going to look at what went good, what can be done different, and is there any added value for having people come to oversee your elections? Because, in 2018, we had people here from the Netherlands and from, I believe, Curacao overseeing our elections. And this year, I think they had them in Aruba and in Curacao. I don't know if they had them in Holland. The second day, we are going to be looking how we can enhance relationships between the kingdom and its partners. And again, here we will have 4 groups. So we have 4 different discussions. One is how do we look at equality, how do we deal with each other with cultures, etc., etc. How we go about it, how do we have communication among each other. The other one is actually the statute, the charter, with how does this work? How is the collaboration when it comes to the statute? The articles of the statute that say we should work with each other, help each other. When we look at the dispute regulation, how does that work in, and what changes we want to it? Because remember, the dispute regulation has been pulled back presently. It isn't being discussed, it isn't being handled, because the first chamber didn't find itself in the dispute regulation proposal of, say, Secretary Knox. So it was pulled off the table because he had no support. We're going to discuss it and see how it can be adjusted to get something. The other one will be the human rights and the rule of law in the countries, how we have good governance and parliamentary democracy. And here we are looking at, again, a council for the rights of humans in the kingdom and the strengthening of the rule of law. And in the same breath, we will discuss the abuse of the use of the rule of law.
Before we get back to our other story, we'd like to apologize for the soundbite of Dion Abute. It was not queued up, and being that this is a live program, such mishaps will happen. But as we continue now, Minister of Justice addresses violence at the schools. In her back-to-school message encouraging students to perform well, Minister of Justice shared a notice of her policy regarding school violence and the ministry's approach to violence, which is a long-time issue on our school grounds. This is what she had to say during her press briefing announcement last Wednesday.
I would like to encourage all students to focus on your studies and do your best. Make this school year a fun and positive experience where you are able to achieve, excel, and win academically and, of course, socially. I encourage you to be respectful to your teachers, peers, classmates, and parents. While it is important to build on your knowledge and skills, it is equally important to build friendships. As such, I urge you to never resort to violence, but to continue to display a high level of obedience, whether it may be inside or outside of the classroom. I encourage parents to register your child or children in positive after-school activities such as sports, tutoring, job trainings, and volunteerings to keep their mind and time focused on a successful life. As a reminder, The enforcement of no loitering around school areas will be maintained for this school year. The Ministry of Justice will be closely monitoring school fights and complaints of bullying. There will be consequences for persons who are instigating, initiating, and taking part in harmful actions against students and/or others on or around school districts. The bullying and violence against children must stop, and it has our attention to be dealt with.
And coming up, interview with St. Martin future professionals. President Joe Biden commends St. Martin professional, and more on SXM Daily News Magazine. Stay tuned.
Organic Creations is your place when looking for natural health supplements and whole foods. We supply a wide variety of herbal teas, multivitamins, liquid herbs, artist life products, organic nuts and grains, essential oils, and supplements for a wide variety of health conditions, all at a reasonable price. Our certified nutritionist is the perfect guide for supplements that best suits you. Inquire also about our gift certificate for that special someone. Remember, your health is your responsibility. So visit Organic Creations today at shop number 1 in the Orange Grove Shopping Center there in Colby, or call us at 721-523-9496. We open Monday to Friday 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., Saturdays 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Organic Creations, where your health is top priority.
Welcome back. This is SXM Daily News Magazine and I'm Valerie Van Putten, and I'm joined by my co-host, Fernando Clark. Let's continue now with the latest developments. Students share expectations for studies in Holland. It's been almost 3 weeks since St. Martin sent 27 students to the Netherlands to further their education. And despite the coronavirus setbacks that led to many students doing their studies online, this cohort expressed excitement amidst solemnity of leaving their family behind to pursue their higher education degrees. More students were contacted by our newsroom about their departure and shared the following sentiments.
I'm Jared Illich.
You're leaving for the Netherlands. What exactly are you going to study?
I'm going to study psychology. I'm hoping that I could get into geneeskunde because I wanted to become a doctor, come back here and help the people. But in the meantime, I'm doing psychology.
What's the motivation behind psychology?
Psychology, I was always interested in the mental field of medicine. You know, after Irma, you saw a lot of PTSD effects. I thought that would be a good field for me to reach out and help everyone.
I'm sure you have been preparing. Give us a rundown as to what you have been doing in preparation for this moment.
Just dealing with all the paperwork, you know, it's been up and down the entire time, but, you know, saying goodbye to family and making sure that everyone doesn't miss me too much.
And you are coming from which of the schools?
I'm coming from MPC, the Veeweo department.
Hi, my name is Mikaela Brown.
Mikaela Brown, you're traveling to the Netherlands. First of all, what are you going to study?
I'm going to study law. in Erasmus University in Rotterdam.
Why law?
Because I want to be able to give back to the island, and I think the island need more lawyers that are raised here. So, yeah.
Tell us as to what had been done on your part to prepare you for this day.
In school, they would have like classes on preparations to go Holland and all of that, and basically that.
Are you mentally ready for that journey?
It's not, to me, it's not if I'm ready. I just have to do it now. But it's kind of scary a little bit.
Why so?
Because we come from a little island, everyone knows each other, and now I'm going to a very big country, and I just have a few friends and family, but no one, not like a tight-knit community like how we have here.
A bachelor's degree in data science at Tilburg University. That's.
Why such a field?
Why? Well, personally, it's a field that I really want to go into, as it's a natural continuation of what I was doing at high school. I was a math major, like my main subjects were mathematics. So to go from an area of mathematics to dealing with data feels like a natural progression of what I wanted to do.
Not too many youngsters like yourself are really enthusiastic about doing mathematics overall. What would you say to them at this time?
All right. Well, a subject is as much as you put into it, you know? So what you're willing to get out of mathematics is what you'll put in. So for those that may have a bit of struggles with, being very, with liking the subject, my best advice is just to try your best, because whatever you give as your best is what will produce the results that you want.
Fernando, with that piece, that clip there, usually we have much more students.
Yes, sometimes
like
we have up to 60 to 80. This time we had just 27. I don't know if it's the online method that we're using that will continue or what it is, but we have quite a reduction in numbers of students traveling to the Netherlands to continue their studies.
But I am glad that, not cutting you off, I am glad that at least we're going to get more lawyers. More people are interested. More students are interested in law, and more students are interested in medicine, so we can get our own. And of course, recently the university graduated several teachers.
Yes.
So we are getting there slowly but surely.
We are getting there, and I'm glad that you touched on this thing with the lawyers, Valerie, because we need to have our own lawyers, our own prosecutors,
our
and
own
our
judges.
own judges.
Exactly.
So I think we're heading on the right track now. So kudos to the Ministry of Education, and kudos to the students who are now interested in these portfolios. So I think St. Martin is on the right track. Let's just see them come back and work here and contribute to their country, the country that sent them away.
Not only come back, but spaces and positions are made available for them. That is the biggest problem right now.
Yep, and that's not a difficult thing to do, because we do need our own judges, our own prosecutors, and our own
lawmakers. We need our own lawmakers.
That's a good thing. And, studying law does not necessarily mean you have to go into, let's say, prosecutor's office or or become a lawyer. But you could even work in Parliament where laws are to be made. You could be the legal advisor to a minister.
Okay. Anyway, we have to continue now. Minister of Romy has given an update on the project. As St. Martin monitors and remains prepared for the current active hurricane season, the Minister of Public Housing, Environment, Spatial Planning and Infrastructure, Romy, Johann gave a recent update on the government's demolition projects.
In regards to the ongoing demolition projects, the prospective winner was selected last week. It's just a matter now of notifying them. As I indicated prior as well, there were some complications with regards to the old government building. So the winner for the post office, as well as the winner for the former Sorma Justice building, that is in Cold Bay. And there were some technical difficulties that we're dealing with the government building, which still needs to be finalized before we can move forward in the interest of safety. Regarding the library, that is being handled with the NRPB. So initially, we did put out a bid for the library. It did indicate publicly and had several public sessions about the library, and the NRPB decided to take it up within their project. So that is not within the Ministry of Romy at the moment. On a whole, we are doing cleanups. All the garbage haulers have put out their bins and have their schedules published as well for the cleanup of debris. So that is being done. We are monitoring every time there's weather, we are monitoring the levels of the pond and doing what we have to do from the part of infrastructure management to make sure that everything is intact in the event of. And we're just waiting and preparing, hoping for the best. Hoping for the best while preparing for the worst.
President Joe Biden and First Lady commended a St. Martiner. According to a report from St. Martin News, Ms. Alexina Bobatui is the Director of Food and Beverage at the St. Regis Hotel in Bal Harbour, Florida. During President's visit, or recent visit, to meet with the families of Surfside, Alexina and her team had the honor and pleasure of meeting the first family. They expressed personal thanks and appreciation for the manner in which she took care of the families of the recent tragic event. In speaking to Alexina about this momentous event, she noted how touching it was that the president sat with every single family that day and consoled with them about the tragic loss of their loved ones during the collapse of the condominium building at Surfside. Alexina is the daughter of the soil who is making her mark in the world. This is no doubt a very distinct honor for Alexina Bobatui, but also something that we can be proud of as a nation.
Okay, Fernando, coming up, next we have Dutch Caribbean mourns the loss of two icons. Stay tuned, everyone. We'll be back with more right after this.
Organic Creations is your place when looking for natural health supplements and whole foods. We supply a wide variety of herbal teas, multivitamins, liquid herbs, artist-life products, organic nuts and grains, essential oils, and supplements for a wide variety of health conditions, all at reasonable price. Our certified nutritionist is the perfect guide for supplements that best suits you. Inquire also about our gift certificate for that special someone. Remember, your health is your responsibility. So visit Organic Creations today at shop number 1 in the Orange Grove Shopping Center there in Cold Bay, or call us at 721-523-9496. We open Monday to Friday 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., Saturdays 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Organic Creations, where your health is top priority.
And welcome back, everyone. You're watching SXM Daily News Magazine, and now for our final stories. In this item out of the island of Bonaire, on Tuesday evening, Bonaire received the sad news that the popular former leader of the Partido Democrático Bonaireano, PDB, Johann Yopie Abraham, passed away at the age of 72, the Kralendijk reported. Yopie Abraham had been suffering from chronic obstructive pulmonary disease for some time, which made breathing increasingly difficult. Until the very last day of his life, however, he remained very interested in the developments on the island and in politics in general. Yopie Abraham was one of the most popular leaders of modern times on the island of Bonaire. Yopie is the father of current PDB leader Clark Abraham, known as a pragmatic politician who could be quite critical even of members of his own party. He was also the son of the founder of the Democratic Party, Julio Abraham, and brother of Antonio Tone Abraham, who took over as leader of the Democratic Party back in the 1960s after their father died.
And local artist Max Felipe passed away. Celebrated local artist, former police officer, and official at the St. Martin Harbor Group, Maximilian, better known as Max Felipe, passed away peacefully at his home on Tuesday morning after a fight with cancer. He was 68 years old. A native of Curacao, Max, as he was affectionately known, made St. Martin his home since 1973. After leaving the police force, he devoted much of his time to arts, as well as being one of the founders of the St. Martin Zoo. Despite his dedication to police work, followed by his tenure as head of security at the harbor, Felipe's first true passion was his artwork. A devoted family man, if Felipe wasn't painting, he was helping his sons advance their musical talent, and he opened his home to many young people who loved to simply hang out in his open flower garden, where he had several species of parrots. He was very proud of his art gallery located in the same Front Street garden and welcomed hundreds of tourists and residents to the gallery on an annual basis. Felipe's work can be seen in several public spaces and is described as figurative and naturalistic. He painted everyday scenes that reflect reality, nature, and the environment. His paintings are dynamic, colorful, vibrant, and brimming with details. He is the recipient of numerous awards from various community organizations and governments. He lives to mourn his wife Aggie and his sons Tyrone and Arnaldo and their families. Here at St. Martin Daily News Magazine, we extend our deepest sympathies to the families and friends of the late Max Felipe.
And you would
show us exactly what your money will finish in the Children's Petting Zoo.
If you look at my right-hand side here, you will see that we have an area that we are fenced in, and what we're doing there, what we're doing right now is we're trying to get through with the soil first, to prepare the soil. Okay, there has to be another layer of gravel first, and then after that we will work on the back of the fence. Okay, we'll have a different displays where housing animals, small animals will be in. Those animals will be what they call petting animals that children will be able to touch and to interact with. This area on this side will be a covered area. We'll have shingles on the roof, make it look more Caribbean style. Around the fence itself will also come a height of about 3 to 4 feet of mesh wire around, so that, for instance, if you have ducks and geese, and so when they're feeding them, they won't be able to come out. Okay, although we will have a special area where we're going to have ducks and so. Some of the most unusual ones and some of the most tame ones we will have here, so the kids also can feed them and play with. Working on the land, growing vegetables, and that's more or less the background of this. If you've been involved with it, you always keep,
That's right.
this kind of
You
work.
get close to nature, which
That's right.
is one of the things that we on Profiles of the Windward Islands love. We love to get out there and see the core of the country. And that's why we are happy to see a project like this coming to fruition. We hope it will soon materialize. When do you think you'll see something here?
Well, as a matter of fact, I just understood that coming Saturday, this whole piece of land that you see, these rocks, everything will be leveled by Windward Roads. They will start to work this coming Saturday full force, and I think in a few days you will see a big change here.
And before we end this edition of SXM Daily News Magazine for today, I would like to extend condolences to the family and friends of the 8 victims who passed away earlier this week due to COVID-19. I would also like to extend condolences to the family of Yopie Abraham in Bonaire, and as well as to, as Fernando just said, to the family of the late Max Felipe.
Yes, definitely.
Fernando,
Valerie,
let's talk about some violence around here.
Yeah, I'm glad that the Minister of Justice touched on that, because it is a brewing bomb waiting to explode here. It has been a situation that the authorities, the police in particular, have to be dealing with around the schools. But the violence don't only take place in the schools or on school premises, but even outside of school premises and other places where the youngsters would gather. We've had talks and we've seen that diminish a bit about gangs and that sort of thing, but there's still too much violence going on between our young people while they should be in school or attending school. Sometimes they're involved in violence and that sort of thing. So I think the minister's message was a good message to the youngsters. Also, Valerie, we saw that the minister the Minister of Justice in collaboration with the Minister of VSR, and so they denied the request for a protest. Now, this protest wasn't going to be all over the Dutch side. They were going to move from the frontiers to the roundabout and then back to the northern side. Yeah. But I have to commend them, the authorities, for taking the general public's health into account. Yeah. Right now, gathering...
And safety sometimes also.
Yeah. Right now, gathering is not the best thing to do.
Right.
And you could practically guarantee that, or be assured that social distancing and so on would not have been adhered to during this protest march. People have the rights to demonstrate and to protest. It is your right, and if there's something going on that you really don't like or don't agree with, you have the rights to protest. But I believe that now, the situation the island is in, and I'm saying the island from Point Blanche right down to French cul-de-sac, we don't need any unnecessary, well, I shouldn't say unnecessary, but gatherings and so on. We should have our guards up right now.
Exactly. Well, thank you for that, Fernando. And I would like to thank you for watching today's broadcast of SXM Daily News Magazine. We encourage you to like, share, and follow our page for more updates, and feel free to email us at your reviews or stories at sxmdailynews@gmail.com. If you've witnessed or were tipped about a breaking news story, then WhatsApp us at 721-580-0627. That's 721-580-0627. Good having you. Good being here with you again, Fernando.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye now.